Welcome all for the happy learning in data structures and algorithm. And today we are continuing with our third module. Under third module we are discussing the second session, which is about linked list implementation. In the previous session we have discussed what is linked list and what is the need for linked list. Why do we go for linked list? We go for linked list since we have few limitations in the array. There are only two ways of implementing data structure, that is either array implementation or pointer or linked list implementation. Since we have few limitations in array implementation, we are going with linked list implementation. What is linked list? It is nothing but we have a sequence of node, one node followed by the other node, that we call it as linked list. Okay, and we have two fields in the nodes. We have two nodes. Each and every node consists of two fields. One is for data and the other field is for to link the address of the next element. Okay, we have two fields in each and every node in a linked list. One is for data and the other one, which is specifying the pointer, which is representing the address of the next element. Okay, and we use the concept of pointer to store the address of the next element. This is what we have already seen. This is an example for a linked list. We have three nodes here, and in three nodes we have two fields. First field for the data element and the second field, that is a pointer field, which is representing the address of the next element. See here, and we know that all our nodes will be starting with head. Okay, to make a computer understand that is the starting node of a linked list, we represent that through the head, and to represent the last node of the list, we specify it through the terminology null. So, 1 is the element what we are going to store in the first node. So, it is first node, the element, it is holding 1, and next specifies the address of 2. And in 2 we have the element, that is 2, and the address of the 3. And finally 3 is the last node. Hence we represent in the address field, we represent it through specifying a null value. Null specifies there is no, specifies that it is a last node in the list. Okay, we will see how to implement a linked list. To implement a linked list, first we have to initialize the node. Okay, and we use the concept of structure to implement the linked list. Okay, why do we use the concept of structure here is that structure you can store the different data types, whereas in array you will be using only you can use only specific data type, whereas similar data type, whereas in the structure you can use different data types. So we use struct here for initialization. So I need to create a node. To create a node, and the first node is always termed to be a head. So I create a node using a structure as struct node pointer head. Pointer specifies that the particular memory address space is represented as head, which is specifying that it is the first node of the list. Then we create the next node. In the previous example we have seen 3 elements. So the same for that example, initialization has been done. So again I create a structure for a node, address of 1, and initially it will be null. Okay, initially we don't link. Okay, before linking, before everything has to be initialized, and when we initialize, a memory will be created. So initially even 1 will be null, 2 will be null, and 3 will be null. Here in the above example we have used only 3 elements, that is why node initialization is done for 3 elements. So according to the application, our application, we do the initialization of node. Okay, then we have initialized the node. Next part of implementation is memory allocation. I have to allocate a memory for each and every node. So for malloc is the predefined function which is going to allocate a memory. So for one I am allocating a memory using malloc function. For a size of struct node, I am giving the size of a particular node and I am allocating a memory. Okay, I am doing this for the 3 elements what I am using in my list. For 2 I am creating a memory using malloc function and a size of structure, I am defining it, and for 3 even same thing. I am using malloc function to define the memory allocation of my nodes. Okay, next we are going to assign the values. We have seen 3 datas, that is 1, 2, 3. So for the first node I am going to store 1, and the second node I am going to store 2, and the third node I am going to store 3. For that I am assigning the data value. So 1 of data field will be 1, that is 1 tends to data. In the 1 I am going to store the data as 1. In the 2 I am going to store the data as 2. In 3 I am going to store the data in the data field as 3. So here I am assigning the data values, and the next comes the connecting the nodes. So far we have created a nodes, we have allocated a memory for the nodes, and we have assigned the values for the nodes. Now comes the connecting the nodes. Only when you connect the nodes, it comes to a linked list. Okay, so what I do, 1 of next will be 2. What is that? In the previous example we have seen 1 of next will be 2. What is 2 here? The next element of 1. 2 of next will be 3. And 3 of next will be null. That is what it has been specifying here in the connecting nodes. 1 of next will be 2. 2 of next will be 3. And 3 of next will be null. Okay. This is how you connect the nodes in a linked list. Okay, we'll see what are all the operations we have in a linked list. Okay, we can create a linked list, we can insert an element in a linked list, we can delete a linked list, we can traverse a linked list, we can perform searching a node in a linked list, we can sort a list, we can merge a list, and we can count the number of nodes in the list. These are all the basic operations we have in a linked list, and we'll discuss that one by one. First, we'll check whether the linked list is empty. As a human, we know that, but how do we make a machine to understand that? Machine has to know whether the list is empty, whether the list has been created or what. A machine should know. To make a machine to understand that, we give the code as int is empty list L. What is here? What is this? Int is the integer what I am going to use, and is empty. Okay, int is the data type what I am going to use, and I am checking a condition whether it is empty or what. That is what I am given, is empty. Where I am going to check this? In the list L. Okay, I have created a list. In that list I am going to check whether the list is empty. Okay, how do I check? I check it using the conditional statement, that is if statement. What is the condition we have here? When your node is a first node, it will be denoted as head, and when it is a last node, it is denoted as null. So when your list of next is equal to null, you will be returning 1. What is returning 1? It specifies that it is empty. Okay, or else return 0. If it is not equal to null, it means that there is the other element following it. Then your list is not empty. Okay, that is why to check this condition, you are giving through if statement. See here we have a node. Okay, but we have header. We don't have any element here. So the machine, how does the machine identifies this node as an empty node? By using this code. Okay, if it is checking whether the list is empty using the if condition. If the list of next equal to null, what it specifies, there is no element in the list, then it returns 1. Else it specifies there is an element following that particular node, so it will be returning 0. So this is the code to check whether a list is empty or what. Next, to check whether the current position is the last in a linked list. We know that. How do we check whether the current position is the last node in the list? We know that whenever the last node, the address of the last node is referenced as null, it specifies it is a last node. Okay, how do we code here? Here we are checking the condition whether it is an is last. Okay, function here is we are checking whether it is a list is last. Okay, and we are using the data type integer here, that is why it is given as int is last. Where we are going to check? We are going to check in the list L, and we need to know the position P, because last node is specified as a position here. So we use the position as P, and if the position of next is equal to null, return 1. Same thing. When your node position specifies the current position of the node. Okay, when your current position of your node of next is equal to null, it specifies that there is no next element followed by the particular node. Obviously it should be the last node. That is why if the pointer of next, the position of the next is equal to null, then it will be returning it as it is a last node. Otherwise it will be returning it is not the last node. So else it is returning 0. 0 indicates it is not a last node. So to check whether the current position in the list is the last node, we use this code. See, here is an example. See, we have a list, 10 is stored in the second, 15, 20 and 25. Okay, now if you want to check whether 20 is the last node. Okay, so what is the position here? Position is the fourth node. Okay, so 20 is stored at the fourth node. So is last when you are checking it, where you will be checking what is the condition you are using, if condition, to check that if position of next is equal to null, whether the position of next at 20 is equal to null. No, because it is equal to the address of 25. So it is not equal to null. So it will be returning 0. When it is returning 0, what it means there? It is not the last node. When you check with the last 25, what happens? What is the address node, next node address here? It is null. So when it is equal to null, it is going to return it as 1. It specifies that it is the last node in the list. Okay. The next operation, we are going to find the position of an element in the linked list. To know where a particular element is stored in a linked list, we use this function. Okay, it is going to find out the position of an element. What we give as an input, it is going to find the position of a particular element given by the user, and it is going to return it. Okay. What is the code we use here? What is the function we perform here? We are going to find the position. So we are using the function find. Position find. Where you are going to find? In the list L. And we are going to find the position of a particular element. To represent that particular element, we specify X here. Element type X. Element type is what type of element? Whether it is an integer or a character, whatever it may be, you will be giving it in an element type, and X is the element what you are going to search. And what is then you are going to check the condition whether the position of L of next, okay, it is what is the next element in that particular position, we are going to check. While it is not equal to null, okay, when your element is not equal to null, that is address of the element is not equal to null, obviously it specifies there is a next element followed by the particular node. And what condition we are giving here? And we are giving the other condition, and when element is not equal to X. What is X here? X is nothing but the element what you are going to find. Okay, the position of an element what you are going to find. So what is the condition checked here? We are checking whether the P of next is, that is address of next element is equal to null, and the element in the data in that particular element is not equal to X. What is X here? The element what we are going to search. If it is not equal, we are going to increment our node. Okay, to increment the node, we are using the command as P is equal to P of next. P is in the position is equal to position of next. First it will be the first node. When it is checking whether you have the address of next node, if it is not equal to null, obviously it specifies that there is a next element followed by it. And when that element is not equal to the element what you are finding, then when both conditions are true, it is going to increment your pointer position. From first node, it goes to the second node, and it continues until this condition fails. Okay, if any of this condition is true, if either the position is not equal to null and P of element is not equal to X, any one of condition is true, it is going to return P. What is P here? the position of a particular element, where it is either it is a third element or fourth element. It will be returning that position. This is the code for finding the position of an element in a linked list. Okay. See here, for example, we have 10, 15, 20 and we are supposed to find what is the position of 20. Okay, so what we check here, first we start with the first node, that is P. Okay, we are checking whether P of next is equal to null. Okay, when it is not equal to null, it is not equal to null, right? 10, it is followed by the address of the element 15. So, it is not equal to null. So, first condition is true and P of element is not equal to X. What is X? Actually, it is 20. Whether 10 is equal to 20? No. Obviously, it is false. So, what we do when this both conditions are true, we increment our pointer. Position is P of next. What is P of next now? For P is 10 and P of next is 15. Now, it goes to 15. Okay, and what is 15? Again, it checks whether 15 address of the next node of 15 is equal to null. No, 15 is holding the address of 20. So, this condition is true. P is not equal to null and P of element is not equal to X. Again, yes, it is true. 15 is not equal to 20. So, what it is going to do? It is going to increment the position of the pointer. So, it goes to the next node, that is, it goes to the node 20. Now, it checks the condition. Yes, P of next is not equal to null. Yes, 20's address, it is holding the data address of the element 25. First condition is true. But what about the second condition? P of element is equal to X. Okay. P of element is, actually element is, what is the element we have in this position? 20. And the element what we are supposed to find is also 20. So, your condition fails here. So, what happens? It will be returning the position. Return P is nothing but it will be returning the position of the particular node. That is, it will be returning the position, third position, fourth position as the output. This is about finding the position of an element in the linked list. Next, we'll see how to insert an element in a linked list. Okay. While you need to insert an element in a linked list, there are three cases. One is inserting an element in the first starting node as a starting node, or inserting element at the last node, or inserting an element at an intermediate node. So, your code varies according to the where the data has to be inserted, and this is the common code which is holding the second case, that is, we are going to insert an element in the intermediate node. Okay, so what we do, what is the function we are going to perform? We are going to insert. Where they are going to insert it? We are going to insert in a list L, and we need the position where it has to be inserted, and we give that to the position P and element type X. X is the data what we are going to insert, and what type of data type we specify in that in the element type. So, you have a position as temp. Okay, we use the nomenclature temp for a current position. Okay, and next we'll be allocating a memory for that. We'll be creating a structure. We know how to initialize a structure, how to implement a list. First, you have to create a structure, and you'll be allocating initialize a node, and you allocate a memory for that node, and then you start performing the operation. So, first I create a memory using malloc function, and using the structure concept I create a node. Then what I do? First, the data element what I am going to insert, I am going to store in a temporary memory location. That is why I have given the nomenclature as temp. Temp is nothing but the data element which is storing the data to be inserted. Okay, and that you call it as X. Okay, the element what you are going to insert, you call it as X, and you store that in the temp. Okay, so when I insert that in the list, the address of the particular node gets changed. Okay, so what I do is, temp of next will be the position of next. See here, A and B is there. I am going to add the one more data X. So what I do here, I create a node, new node, and I assign the data as temp there. Okay, I create a new node as temp and I insert a value x there. Now what happens? What is the actual address of the node 1? It should hold the address of node B. Node 2, that is the address of B. Since we are going to insert a new element, now it has to hold the address of the new node. Okay, that is what the position of next. Then P of next will be your temp. Okay, the P of next will be your temp. Now the temp will be your new data, new node what you have created to insert will be your what you are going to insert will be your temp. See here, with this example it is very clear. We are going to insert 20 between 15 and 25. So what we are supposed to do, 10 will be holding 10 in 10 the pointer will be representing the address of 15, and at 15 the pointer will be representing the address of 25. Now we are going to insert 20 between 15 and 25. So first, what is the first step? I create a node and then I initialize and create a node by structure function using structure, and I use malloc function to create a memory for it. Now what I have to do, I should break the link. Okay, and I have to create a new link. So what I do, for the temp what I have created, the temp of next will be address of 25. The temp in the pointer under the node 20, it should represent the address of 25, whereas at the 15, at the node 3, the 15, it should have the address of 20. I should do this two steps. I have to first create a node and I have to break the link between the previous node, and I have to create a new link after inserting an element. Then the next operation is to remove an element from a list. Okay, remove an element is nothing but in a particular list we will be removing a particular node. When we remove the node, automatically your link also gets break. It will be break and it should be regenerated. That is what removing an element from a list. So what is the function we do here? We are performing delete function where we are doing it in the list L, and what element you are going to delete will be your X, and the data type for that will be your element type. So first we want to know the position where it is the element is present, that we denoted through P, and the temp. Okay, temp is nothing but the data element what you are going to delete, you store that in the temporary and you free that temp. Okay, freeing that temp is nothing but you reallocate the memory what has been allocated for that particular node. So what is the first code we have? P is equal to find previous. In the list you are going to find the previous node. Okay, and the X. Okay, X is nothing but the element what you are going to delete. So what you are going to do is you are going to break the link here and you have to create a new link. So you are going to find the previous link of the element to be deleted, and what you do is you check whether it is a last node or what. To check that P of next is not equal to null, it specifies that there is a node following it. Okay, now what we do, temp of P of next will be your address of the temp node what you are going to delete. What you do now, position of next will be your temp of next. Then you will be deleting your, now the link has been created and you will be reallocating the memory that have been allocated. See here, what we have 10, 15, 25, 30 and 35, and we are going to delete 25. So I store 25 in temp. Okay, so first I am going to find the position and I am going to store that in the temp. Then what I am going to do is, now the link breaks, right? 15 to 25 and 25 to 30 link breaks, and I have to create a direct link from 15 to 30. Okay, so what I do, I confirm the element to be I place the element in temp and I delete it. So while doing that, the temp of your previous will be the previous of next. That what is previous of 25, 15, and that will be your P of next. Okay, instead of 25, now P of next, 15 of next will be 30. Okay, how it has been generated? P of next will be your temp of next. So P of next, what happens? is your temp of next now. Okay, you have recreated the link. Now what you do? Now the link has been disconnected from 15 to 25 and 25 to 30, and you have created a new link from 15 to 30, and the element is stored in 25. Now you free that memory. You free the memory of temp. What temp is holding? It is holding the element. This is what deletion or removing an element from a linked list is. This is all about the linked list implementation. Thank you all.